Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Palvisha Imran 19SW06 from section 1, and in this video we are mainly going to be discussing how to transfer files from the working area to the staging area or vice versa, how to use the commit and push commands, and how to create local and central repositories as well as use them after establishing a connection between them. So the first thing that we are going to do after creating the instances that we created in the previous labs, if you recall them, we are going to check whether or not our machine has Git installed. So for that, we are going to use the which command. You have to simply type which and the package that you are searching for, and it will show you whether your computer has it or not. In my case, my computer does not have Git installed in it, so I'm simply going to use the yum command to install it. So in order to install the git package, we are going to type yum git and -y, and what this command does is it installs the git package onto your machine, and what -y does is that it disables the confirmation prompts that pop up whenever you install a package. After the installation is complete, you can again use the which command to see whether your installation was successful or not. The next thing that we are going to do is create a directory called Mumbai Git using the mkdir command. After creating the directory, we are going to get inside that directory by using the cd command, and now you can see we are not inside the EC2 user anymore. We are inside the Mumbai Git directory. After getting inside the Mumbai Git directory, we are going to create a local repository, and for that purpose we are going to use a git init command. After we are done making the local repository, we are now going to create a couple of files to use later on. One thing to notice here is that whenever you create a file, it is by default in the working area, and in order to send them to the staging area or the local repository, we will be needing different commands that we will see later on in the video. Now we are going to use the status command, which displays the state of the working directory and the staging area. It lets you see the changes which have been staged and which haven't. And as you can see, none of the files that I have created are being tracked by Git yet. So the next thing that we're going to do is use add command to send these files from working area to the staging area. The add command is pretty simple. You just type git add and the file name that you want to add to the staging area. Here I'm typing git add file1. Now if I run the status command again, you will see that file1 is now ready to be committed. That is, it has been sent to the staging area, unlike the other two files that are still in the working space. Now, what if I want to unstage file1? For that purpose, I will use the git rm and space -- cache file1 command to do so. Running the status command again here and see the file, and see the file has been transferred back to the working stage. That means it has been unstaged back to the working area. Now, in order to send all the files from the Mumbai Git directory to the staging area, the command that we will make use of is git add and an asterisk symbol. This has sent file1, file2, file3, all three of them to the staging area. Now that we know how to transfer files from working area to staging area, or to move the files back from the staging area to working area, let's move forward and commit these files to the local repository now, for which we use the git commit -m and the message which is inside the inverted commas. For the message, I'm going to type first commit. You can type whatever you want, however you want this commit to be remembered as. Now that we're done sending the files from the staging area to the local repository by using the commit command, we can see the history of commits and the details by using the two important commands that we discussed in class, which were gitlog and gitshow. Gitlog and gitshow are both basically concerned with history of commits, but there is a bit of a difference between both of them. Gitlog contains all recent commits, date, time, author, and some additional details, whereas gitshow shows the details from gitlog that we get from gitlog, as well as the content of files and some additional stuff as well. Now that we're done transferring files to the local repository, we will be creating a central repository. And in order to do that, we are going to type a command that is git remote add origin, and now we have to copy paste a URL that we will get from the central repository. To get that URL, you first have to have a central repository. In order to create a central repository, you will have to go to your GitHub account, click on this new button so that you can create a new repository, name it whatever you want, and then click on the create repository button. Now you see a link. You have to copy this HTTPS link and paste it right beside the get remote add origin command. Then after you press enter, if the command executes without any error, then you know that your central repository has been created. Now that we have created both the local and the central repository, we will write a command to push some data into the central repository from the local repository. The command goes git push origin master. After this command is entered, the console asks you for your username and password. Now I'm going to insert my username, which is Palvisha Imran, right? For password, if I enter my GitHub password, the right password, it will show me that the authentication failed, which is because this method of authentication was removed in August 2021. So in order to authenticate now, we will again type the same command get push origin master, and the console will again ask you for your username and password. Now this time you will put the same username, which is in my case Palvisha Imran. But for the password, what you will be doing is you will have to generate a personal access token, for which you will again go to the GitHub account, click on here, go to settings, and then click on the developer settings, which will direct you to the next page where we will have to select personal access token. Now you have to give a name to your token. I'm naming it Mumbai instance as it seems the most relevant to me, but you can name it whatever you want. You can choose the expiration of this token. I'm keeping it 30 days. You can again choose whatever you want. Now check the repo box and generate token. After you press generate token, you will be directed to another page that will have a link. You have to copy paste that link and paste it in place of your password. Right now you can see the central repo has received your files, and to ensure that you can go to your GitHub account and check the files there. If the files are there, then your repository has been created and connected with your local repository, and it has received your files that were in your local repository. That brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys understood, and thank you for watching.